Hi, I'm Anatole, and this is my reaction video for Neon Genesis Evangelion Season 1, Episode 14. Two titles, of course, as always. Title number 1, Weaving a Story, and title number 2, Seele, the Seed of the Soul. And that's spelled S-E-E-L-E, so I'm not quite sure about the pronunciation. Japanese title, Seele Tamashi no Za. It aired January 3rd, 1996. And the score on IMDb is 7.1 out of 500 votes, quite low. I've been told that this is a flashback episode, so I'm not sure if that means we will get stories that we haven't seen already, or if they're going to be showing clips from previous episodes. But also I was informed that half of the episode is flashback and half of it contains new stuff. My plan now is to do a reaction to the episode, and then depending upon how much new content there is, we'll decide whether I do a review. And if I don't do a review, then I'll come back with a couple top 3 lists. And if I don't need to, if there's enough there for me to review, I'll save that idea for an episode where I feel I don't have anything for a review. So that idea of top 3 lists, if I don't do it at the end of the episode, I'll table it for another date. Anyway, join me after the intro when I will give you my reaction to Neon Genesis Evangelion Season 1, Episode 14, Seele, Seele, the Seed of the Soul. I will get this, Weaving a Story, Seele Tamashi no Za. I made it harder for myself than I should have. See you in a bit. Okay, so did we see this? No, is this is in the past, I think. This is the first episode, right? Yeah, okay. This is definitely rehash. There's a cross. I don't remember that. You just gotta whip it good. Do, 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 do. It's a hit parade of all the angels. Langley, I didn't know her middle name was Langley. Matriel. Everything ends in EL. Oh, Man Ray would be proud. Not Man Ray. What do you think? Boom Scenario? What are they talking about scenario? Seele Tamashi no Za. This is Ray, but why is she having these thoughts? Yeah, is she being invaded by one of the angels? Anatadare. Who are you? Interoperability. So they're testing if they can switch Evas. So who's in what Eva? I'm a little confused here. Shinji is in Rei's Eva, and Asuka's just in hers. So was it constructed by someone other than Nerve? He's gonna flip out like Rei flipped out. The Eva is corrupted. So it would appear that there is. Does Zero know that she's a traitor? It's back in the hospital bed that he was in episode 1 or 2. She actually gonna be worried about Shinji? What is all this stuff? Say what? What is this? What? Is that the whole episode? So it is a real short episode. Alright, well, I do think I'm going to need to do the top 3 lists. I will watch the episode. My normal method, I will watch the episode twice more. I will go find the commentary and see what they say. But I don't think there's enough there for me to review. So I'll come back with a couple top 3 lists. And that should be quite fun. And then that'll be the end. So join me in a second. Well, I will give you some of my top 3 lists of the season so far. See you in a bit. Welcome back. And now I'm going to talk about my top 3s. First thing I want to mention, though, about the episode, Seele is apparently an organization for which Gendo is responsible too. So Gendo has someone to answer to. It hasn't really been explained a lot what their role is, but we do know that there is the piper that Gendo has to pay, and that is Seele. But my 2 top 3s, I prepared 2 top 3 lists that I want to discuss for the first half of the season of Neon Genesis Evangelion. So my first top 3 is the top 3 best angels. The angels I liked the most, I thought were the coolest. Number 3, Ireul. I believe it's probably pronounced Iriul, because the Japanese pronounce that I as an E, the European E. And the reason I liked it was just because and I know that episode is maligned. It has a lower score, but I like that angel because it brought us a sort of cyberpunk feel, and it was so different from all the other angels. It wasn't one of those big monster angels. It wasn't one of the kaiju. It wasn't one of the kaijus. I knew that word too, kaiju. Number 2, Sahaquiel, and that was the big-eyed monster floating in space, and I liked it just because it was so funky and weird, and it reminded me of, I keep saying Man Ray, but I think it's Buñuel, and I mentioned it during my watching it. It reminded me of Buñuel's La Chien Andalou, which is a very famous surreal film. There's a scene in that where they're piercing the eyeball, and it created quite the controversy when it first came out. Number 1, my favorite angel thus far is Gagiel, which was the angel from the ocean, the big shark monster. And I like that because it had the Evas having to maneuver on the ships on top of the sea. So I really liked what that brought for the combat in the episode. And then my second top 3 list was my 3 favorite angel finishing maneuvers. Number 3 was Israfel, when Shinji and Asuka have to practice dance steps to finish the angel that can split, and they have to attack simultaneously. And again, that was less about the angel itself and more about what it did to the story. It was fun to watch Shinji and Asuka have to work together and form a rapport while they were doing that. Number 2, Matriel, and that was the big spider Eva. And I like that because it's the first time we saw all 3 Evas working together. And to finish it, they had to do that maneuver where they were throwing, I think they threw, what's her head? I think they threw Ray, if I remember right. But it was fun to watch all 3 of them. If it wasn't Ray, it may have been Asuka. I honestly don't remember who it was that they threw up to pierce the eye, but it was fun watching all 3 of them work together. And then my favorite angel finish was from Shamshel, which is angel number 4, but it's the angel we saw in episode 2. And that's the one where Shinji got berserk and he ran down the mountain and then stabbed the Eva in the eye with his glowing dagger. And after he kills the angel, we just see the sunset and we see the Eva and angel in silhouette. And then we hear the cicadas, wah, 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 wah. And then it fades out. I just thought that was such a beautiful, eerie moment to finish that battle on. So those were my 2 top 3 lists. If you have an idea for any top 3 lists, let me know in the comments below, and I can come back next episode and fill that in for you. Give me serious ones. Silly ones I think will be a little too hard for me. So, in any event, that's it. That's it for the flashback slash half episode Neon Genesis Evangelion. Please join me again next time. Until then, take care and be well. Goodbye.